I didn't realize how far I had wandered from the survey camp until the light changed. One moment, the sky above the desert plain of Asterion 6 was a dull rose color, the usual filtered hue of a planet forever wrapped in thin storm clouds. The next moment, it flickered, like a lantern flashing behind a curtain, and everything turned blue. Deep blue. Electric blue. A blue that didn't belong to nature. My pulse kicked up. Storms here didn't behave like that. Neither did the atmosphere. I froze, adjusting the sensor pack strapped to my chest. It emitted a soft chirp, then another, rapid, urgent. Radiation spike. Energy displacement. Movement. Something was coming. I turned back toward the ridge, where the camp should have been, but it was too late. A beam of brilliant white light carved down from the sky, like a blade. It struck the ground 10 meters from me, expanding outward in a perfect circle, leaving the dirt and rock inside it glowing like molten glass. A deep, resonant hum rippled through my bones. And then I heard them. Metallic boots. Dozens of them. I spun around just as figures emerged from the haze, towering humanoids clad in obsidian armor, segmented and sharp-edged, with bright silver visors covering their eyes. They moved with the precision of machines, but breathed like living creatures. Alien guards. And they had already surrounded me. Human. A modulated voice boomed. You are trespassing on sovereign ground. You will be detained. Before I could speak, 2 of them slammed me to my knees, locking cold restraints around my wrists. Panic surged through me, but the guards lifted me effortlessly, dragging me toward the center of the circular impact zone. A transport ship shimmered into existence. It had literally uncloaked in front of my eyes. The vessel was sleek, smooth, oddly organic in shape, like a giant metallic seed pod. Panels on its side unfolded, creating a ramp. I dug my heels in. Wait. I didn't know this land was restricted. I'm a researcher. I can prove it. They ignored me. My boots scraped against the ramp as they forced me inside, where the temperature dropped 10 degrees instantly. A circular chamber pulsed with soft white light. Restraints extended from the floor, locking around my ankles, keeping me rooted in place. Across the room, a guard pressed his armored hand to a panel. The ship rumbled, lifted, and shot into the sky with a force that nearly knocked the air from my lungs. I didn't know where they were taking me, but I knew one thing with absolute certainty. I wasn't getting out unless someone helped me, and I doubted anyone would. Not on this planet. Not with these aliens. Not today. The prison of light. We docked at a structure I had trouble even comprehending. From above, it looked like a massive circular temple floating miles above the planet's surface. But when I was dragged through its halls, I realized everything was made of the same glowing metal, smooth and seamless, as if grown instead of built. Dozens of other prisoners were being escorted through the corridors, mostly humans, some other species I didn't recognize. All looked terrified. The guards brought me into a chamber that resembled a courtroom, though far more intimidating. Elevated platforms hovered in concentric rings, each occupied by more armored figures. Their visors glowed silver white, following every movement. A spotlight snapped onto me. A guard announced, "This human has violated the sanctum perimeter. Protocol demands immediate isolation. Recommendation: confinement until inquiry." A disembodied voice echoed from everywhere at once. Approved. I was being sentenced without even understanding why. The guards seized my arms again, but before they could drag me out, the chamber lights shifted. A low vibration rolled through the air, almost musical, and the armored figures bowed their heads. Someone was entering. A figure approached from the far end of the chamber, flanked by 2 honor guards in brighter armor. Her presence hit me like gravity. She was tall, almost as tall as her soldiers, but she wore no helmet. Her skin shimmered faintly, reflecting silver blue light like polished stone. Her hair flowed like strands of molten platinum, and her eyes were nothing short of arresting. Luminous violet, glowing softly, shifting in hue whenever she blinked. The guards dropped to one knee. "The queen arrives," one murmured reverently.
And she was looking at me.
Directly at me. Something flickered across her face. Curiosity? Recognition? A strange softness that didn't match the cold severity of her warriors. She stepped forward.
"Release him," she said.
Her voice was calm, commanding, undeniably final. The guards hesitated. One spoke up. "Your Majesty, the human trespassed." "Release him," she repeated, her tone like steel wrapped in silk.
"Now."
My restraints unlocked at once. The guards backed away, lowering their heads. The queen circled me slowly, studying every detail of my face, as if searching for something. When she finally stopped, she spoke in a lower voice, one meant only for me. "You should not have survived the perimeter field. No unshielded life form ever has." I blinked hard. I shouldn't have what? Her violet eyes narrowed in wonder. "There is something unusual about you, human." I almost laughed. Unusual? I'm literally just a survey tech. We study rocks. I barely passed flight training. She smiled faintly, and I realized something.
She didn't believe me.
No, worse. She knew something I didn't. Why the queen saved me. She dismissed the guards and motioned for me to follow her. Once we entered a private chamber with a wide circular window overlooking the planet, she turned to me fully. "I am Queen Illyria of the Solari Dominion," she said. "Keeper of the Sanctum, guardian of the Veil." I swallowed. "I apologize for trespassing. Truly, I didn't know." "You are not in danger," she said, softer now. "Not while you are under my protection." I stared. "Why would you protect me?" The queen hesitated, just for a moment. Then, "Because the Sanctum perimeter recognized you." I frowned. "Recognized me?
"How?"
"I've never been here before." She looked out the window, her expression troubled. "The perimeter was engineered ages ago," she explained. "It identifies intruders instantly and destroys them. It is absolute.
"Perfect."
Infallible." She turned back toward me. "It did not destroy you." A chill rippled through me. "Which means," she continued quietly, "the perimeter considered you one of us." My breath caught. "That's impossible," I whispered. "Is it?" she asked softly. "There are legends of humans touched by the Solari light. Descendants of ancient travelers. Gene-bound echoes of our own people. We believed the myths." She stepped closer, so close her luminous eyes reflected me like a mirror. "But you," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, "you should not exist." The room suddenly felt too small. "So, what happens to me now?" Another smile ghosted across her lips. That depends on what you truly are. Then her expression darkened. And on how long I can keep you safe. My stomach tightened. Safe from what? The High Council, she said. They will not accept my decision lightly. They may attempt to seize you again or worse. I took a step back.
Why?
What do they want with me? Her answer was simple and terrifying. They suspect you might be a threat. The council strikes the Queen had me escorted to guest quarters, far more luxurious than anything I'd ever seen, though she apologized that it was the safest place available. I barely had time to collect my racing thoughts before alarms blared. Lights flared red. Doors sealed. An automated voice declared, "Unauthorized breach. Council enforcers approaching." My blood turned cold. Within seconds, the door to my quarters exploded inward. 3 guards in heavier armor stormed in, weapons crackling with blue electricity. "There he is," one roared. "Seize the human. Detain him for dissection, by order of the council."
Dissection?
I stumbled backward, heart hammering, but they advanced quickly. Blades unfolded from their gauntlets. I was dead. Then a blast of violet energy tore through the room, hurling the guards across the walls like ragdolls. Smoke cleared. Queen Illyria stood in the doorway, eyes blazing with fury. She raised her hand, and her voice boomed with ancient power. "Touch him again, and you will answer to me." The guards scrambled to their knees. "Your Majesty," the council ordered. I overrule them. "But the human is an anomaly. He is under my protection." Her glow intensified, casting sharp shadows across the shattered room. "And I will tear down anyone who threatens him." The guards fled. The Queen turned to me, breathing hard, but when her eyes met mine, they softened. "Are you harmed?" "I know. I'm okay. I managed." But she wasn't. And she knew the council wouldn't stop. "Come," she said urgently. "We must leave the sanctum." "Where will we go?" "Somewhere they cannot reach you." Freedom at a cost. We boarded a small personal vessel, sleek, quiet, clearly meant for stealth rather than combat. Illyria piloted it herself, shooting us into the upper atmosphere. Below us, alarms thundered across the floating fortress as council ships scrambled in pursuit. She pushed the engine to its limits. The vessel trembled violently as it entered the storm layer surrounding Asterion 6. Lightning lashed across the sky, but her piloting was masterful, a blur of movements, adjustments, instinctive reactions no machine could replicate. Finally, after minutes of violent turbulence, we broke through the cloud layer. Stars stretched across the void. Freedom almost. The Queen exhaled shakily. "They cannot track us through the storm. We are safe for now." I leaned back in my seat, still shaking. "Why are you doing this for me? You barely know me." She stared at the stars. "Because," she said quietly, "your existence proves the council was wrong. Human and Solari paths were never meant to be enemies." I frowned. "You think I'm proof of that?" She turned to look directly at me. "I think you are the beginning of something neither of our species understands yet." Her hand brushed mine. Warm. Gentle. Intentional. I swallowed. "So, what now?" "We go to the outer reaches. To a world beyond council rule. You will be free there." "And you?" A shadow crossed her expression. "I will return to face the consequences of my defiance." "No," I said immediately. You saved my life. I can't let you just... You owe me nothing, she whispered. But my people, they need a queen. And I must answer for what I've done. I shook my head. They'll punish you. Perhaps. She smiled sadly. But I freed an innocent. There is honor in that. The stars reflected in her violet eyes. You will live, she continued softly. And that is enough. I reached for her hand. She didn't pull away. Thank you, I said, my voice thick. For everything. She squeezed my hand gently. Farewell, human who should not exist. Ending, a promise in the stars. Her ship landed on a small, lush moon covered in forests and silver rivers, far from council eyes. She walked with me to the edge of a cliff overlooking the valley. This world is unclaimed, she said. Its people are peaceful. You will find refuge here. I swallowed tightly. Will I ever see you again? The Queen's expression faltered, just for a heartbeat, before she masked it with regal composure. The galaxy is vast, she said softly, but paths have a way of crossing again, especially when destiny insists on it. Her fingers brushed my cheek. Then she turned back toward her ship. I watched her ascend into the sky, into danger, into duty, into the unknown. But as her vessel disappeared among the stars, a strange warmth stirred in my chest. A connection, a promise, a quiet certainty that her story and mine weren't finished. Not even close. Because somewhere across the galaxy, a queen had risked everything for me. And one day, I would return the favor.